Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we enjoy the wonderful weather by taking a walk in the local park and talking about Magic the Gathering lore for the upcoming plane of Amonkhet. One of the questions that was boggling my mind about Amonkhet is what color identity will the Gods of Amonkhet have? I'm not the first person to ask or attempt to answer this question, and one of the best answers I have found online is on the webpage of the Either Hub. If you have time, please go there, leave a like and subscribe if you approve the content. It is a very high level Magic the Gathering and other things material uploaded on there. With that in mind, let's answer this question on my channel with my point of view. It is my claim that the Gods of Amonkhet will not have more than one color. They will be having the color identity for each one of the mana colors currently in Magic. The reason I make this claim is based on the recent cards that got spoiled. The cards that got spoiled... One of the greatest problems to film in the wild is background noise. I'll try to clear this out, but maybe I'll leave the train in. As I was saying, I think the gods are monocolored, and I make this conclusion based on the cards that we saw spoiled. Wizards of the Coast has recently spoiled 16 of the Invocations. Invocations are special cards, much like the Expeditions in the Zendikar block, the new Zendikar, and the Inventions in the Kaladesh block, for Kaladesh and Either Revolt. As such, it's my claim that the color alignment we will see on those cards will also demonstrate the color alignment that the gods will actually have. So let's look at some of the cards. I think that the bird god or ibis-headed god will have a blue alignment, as this god is pictured on an unholy amount of blue cards, as you will see right now on the screen. With that out of the hat, let's look at the other four gods. There are two cards that I find really interesting in both art and implications on the flavor and the lore of Magic the Gathering for Amonkhet. Those two cards are Maelstrom Pulse and Vindicate. Maelstrom Pulse has green and black in its mana cost, and it features a snake-headed god and a crocodile-headed god. Vindicate has black and white in its color identity, and it features a crocodile-headed god and a cat-headed god. Those two cards have one god in common and one color in common. If we go by my theory of the gods being monocolored, and judging by the card art, I would assume that the crocodile god has black mana identity, and cat and the snake have white and green respectively. I also think that another reason that the gods are monocolored is based on the art of those cards. On Maelstrom Pulse, we see that the snake and crocodile gods are helping each other to cast a combined spell, and a similar situation is repeated on Vindicate. I think this art is done on purpose. Now, it has a bit of an implication on the lore. Previously, and I'm relatively new to the Magic lore as in studying in specifics, but I have never seen two entities combine their mana together to create a new spell. We saw something similar in Oath of the Gatewatch lore when Nissa and Chandra combined a spell to destroy the Eldrazi Titans, Kozilek. Sorry for that. Kozilek and Ulamog. However, they didn't necessarily make a new spell or twist their mana into each other. It were more like two separate spells, the insignia of the Gatewatch and a huge-ass Pyromancy Blast, so nothing special. Here, however, we literally see two gods using their manas to twist them and form a completely new spell. This, I think, speaks volumes of their power and the trials that the Gatewatch will encounter. With a piece of lore out of the mind, we go back to the fact that those two gods require to fuse their mana to make a spell. if they were two or tricolored, they wouldn't necessarily require each other to create said spell. Of course, you could argue that they just don't have the required mana alignment, but it seems to me highly unlikely. Why would Wizards of the Coast portray it in such a way? It seems clearly to me that those gods are extremely capable of teamwork and are restricted to only one mana. Maybe it was made because they would be more powerful that way, or maybe Bolas did not want the competition on Amonkhet. Either way, I think that is the claim that I've made from this. With this in mind, we have one god and one mana color left. Therefore, I would assume that the hound-headed god, or what I assumed was to be Anubis, the black mana god initially, is apparently getting a red color, which is actually quite interesting. So, if we now know the color of the gods, based on this claim, we might be able to predict their abilities in the lore and in the game. We already saw that the cat god, who we also know is now called Oketra, is capable of unleashing some devastating magic, as we see her using her arrow to cast a spell, Wrath of God. The ibis-headed god is clearly a master of arcane knowledge, as we see him portrayed once again on multiple counter spells, such as Force of Will. We do not know much about the other three remaining gods. We in fact did not see a single spell with the hound-headed god, but I would assume he is either a god of destruction, and we might see him on a lightning bolt if it gets printed, or some other red spell, or maybe he is the one that amplifies the attacking power of the creatures. The green-headed god and the green-headed god. The snake-headed god, that I think stands for green mana, and the crocodile-headed god that stands for black mana, did not get their individual spells either. They were assisted in creating destruction spells. However, I would assume that the green god, with the very severe theme of counters currently in Magic the Gathering, with the Verdurious Gerahulk, the Binding Constrictor, and the new spell from artifact from Amonkhet, which allows us to cast spells for free if we have enough brick counters, may possibly amplify the amount of counters of permanence, and maybe has trample, like any other green card does. The black god, on the other hand, I am not so sure about. Once again, I assume that the black one would be Anubis, because Anubis in the Egyptian lore is the one with the hand of a hound, or jackal to be more specific, and is associated with reincarnation. And we did indeed see some of the zombie jackals from Amonkhet that have black mana identity. So I would say that the crocodile-headed god, if he has black alignment to mana, would be able to either resurrect, or maybe, because we saw the black being very proficient with -1/-1 counters right now, such as the Archdemon of Ifrit and the new Liliana, will also be able to put -1/-1 counters. Well, that was it. To sum it up, I think that the identity of the god is as follows. The cat has white color, the ibis has blue color, the crocodile has black color, the snake has green color, and the dog has red color. This conclusion is derived based on the analysis of the invocations of Amonkhet and some of the other Amonkhet set cards. Thank you for watching. If you like the content, please leave a like, maybe you can subscribe, maybe you can comment. Do you think the idea is good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think there is other evidence that I missed or ignored? Please let me know in the comments. Have a nice day.
Yo, what up, world? This is Deshaun. Welcome to my world. You ready to take a journey? I know I am. It's about to go down. Ready? Let's get it.